Hello. Thanks for coming. Today, I have, well, one thing I just did, I replaced the batteries in my on-air sign so it's more brilliant. So it looks like this could use a little cleaning. Anyway, on the monitor testing, what I did last night is I left the monitor on for maybe 36 hours or so, and I turned it off, and I let it get stone cold as cold as it could be, and then I've turned it back on to make sure that it's still okay after being on for so long. And it is, and look, there's the Amiga Kickstart. Now, before I go out and get a box for this, there are other things that I need to do. And mostly, I need to turn it off, and turn off the Amiga 1000, and turn off the Commodore 64, and unplug the joystick, unplug the power, unplug the video. What else is, oh, there's still a cartridge in there. I'll take that out too. And I will tuck this Commodore 64 gently underneath here. And now, it is time to take a magic eraser, and even though this monitor is indeed quite lovely, nothing gets through the years of sitting around. I mean, even if it's just dust. So here we have a bowl of water. Nothing special about it, just water. I did make it a little bit warm. Then we toss in the magic eraser and squeeze it out almost completely. And then it is ready. And you know, as I say, everything here looks lovely. The case looks lovely. It all looks dandy. I cannot see, well, perhaps on the power switch there's a little schmutz. But you see, that would have been something that got pushed on quite regularly. But everything else looks quite fine. So I'm not really, you know, there's nothing major. But that's the beauty of the magic eraser. I'm basically running it over the same corner. Ooh, no. No. Do not drop the bowl. I'm using the same corner of the magic eraser to go over it. And once again, this monitor is quite lovely. Quite beautiful. Oh, there's a little schmutz right there. But really, this is just to tidy up anything that might just be there from the many years of sitting around. When it comes to rib things, I try and go with the ribs, because the magic erasers, they are, well, kind of brittle. They are. So they will sort of come apart. That's how they die. They don't stop working, they just sort of disintegrate. Little by little by little. But anyway, this looks mighty fine. I see a couple of little marks on the very back here. But you know what? Not scratches, just, you know, stuff. Now, one thing. I think I'm running out of room here. Ooh. I do want to get on the back. Those look like maybe they're little pen marks. But when you focus very hard on such areas, things go away. They do. So I've done once again, on this really, really clean, lovely monitor, I've done some, and if you see, there is some residue. Stuff we can't even really see, but still, it's good to tidy it up. So later today, I will go and find a box, and probably this will come from Home Depot, where they have good boxes that are big enough and strong enough. Now, on this side, I will do much the same. I'm starting on a new corner of the magic eraser. I remember years ago when I worked at Electronics 2001, we had a fellow there who was quite brilliant. And he really wasn't into Commodore stuff, but he was okay. But he would clean things, and he would use the same cloth, the same sponge, the same everything. And after a while, even though he would clean them regularly, they seemed to take on a kind of a grunginess, because the sponge was not clean. Oh yeah, so there's just a little dust and a couple of little dark marks, but nothing horrendous, just mostly dust. Say these things, they sit around for 30 years. It's inevitable you get some little markings, but nothing like on here. I'm really impressed that this looks so crisp. There's a couple of tiny little marks there. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm just going to move to the back here. Okay. And I guess it's time, because this is, of course, you squirt it a little bit. That's really all you have to do with it. Get it wet, and then rinse it off. Now this too is an area that the magic eraser may not like tremendously, and that is where there is stuff that is imprinted into the plastic. It can chew it up pretty quick. So just be gentle, especially if there's really not much of anything to be concerned about. Don't reef on it. Now here, this would be interesting. In these screw holes is a natural place that dust would linger. And I will endeavor to get it all out. I may not get every. It's hard to get into those recessed places. Oh, there's a little dust. Alright, so if I lift this up, I can go at the bottom ever so gently. And over the back panel. Once again, when there's not much to clean, just look for anything that looks, dusty. And there, probably from the hole in the back, there's a little dust. But overall, is quite beautiful. Let's see here. Sometimes you even get sort of more marks off of things after you clean them when the water dries. But really, this thing is just ever so gently damp. Okay, so we'll turn this around. Oh, yeah. Look at the front. Wow. It really is. I mean, just going to go with the power just a little bit more. I mean, nothing can be as perfect as when it came out of the box originally. But this is pretty close. Pretty close indeed. Now, just right. Oh, aha. There is a little. Once again, this is an area. I'm gonna rinse. You gotta be careful. Certainly, the door is sacred. You do not want to break the door. And also, the embossed writing may eat away at the magic eraser, but inside here, I just see a little dust. Nothing terrible. So, I give it a little rub down. And I just see two tiniest little marks in there. And I don't know what they could be from. And it's kind of hard to even get in there to have a go at them. See, when it's outside, you can get some good, real finger pressure. Anyway, so just take your time. And now, as I figure, I'm just about done. I'll just give everything a last little wipe. Maybe really. Part of the Amiga 1000. And look it over. And say that looks good. Very good. And then I can squeeze this out. It actually looks to be almost as good as new. there, now that I'm here, is, you know, sometimes cables also get some schmutz. Not that it really matters. And of course there's some stuff on here that's supposed to be here. It's writing about specific, oh yeah, that. Well, this is an example of something that looked mighty fine. And there, just a few little rubs, and we have the filth of time. And looking at the end here, and of course this is where it gets handled. But there's more stuff here, and I'll very carefully go at the cable, this part of the cable at the end with the business part, and here, and that is much cleaner than it was. Beautiful. And we'll just set that to kind of dry. I mean, this doesn't leave anything incredibly wet, but certainly it's slightly moist. Now, where, oh where, this video cable that I borrowed, oh, I think I see some ink markings. It too could use a little wipe. Oh yeah, there, that's one little wipe. And I can see a bit of the magic eraser is coming off. There's not really much texture to this wire, but there is friction. And it looks like on here, maybe there's some pen marks. But, you know, just to get the dust off. And the metal parts at the end here, you know, they get handled. They do. Excellent. Alright. So I'll just set that aside to just come back to complete dryness. And we'll wash this off. And squeeze it out. And, I wonder, my hand's a little bit wet. Much wetter than the sponge. I wonder if I should just give this a quick wipe. Because I do seem to see fingerprints on it. Well, I suppose I should take it out, but then I would end up with more fingerprints on it. Here, on air. And it's funny, I've had some people write and say, oh, I like your neon signs. They look neon, but they are not. That's pretty. They are plastic that has LEDs shining up through it, so it gives the illusion of neon. Anyway, as I glance at the monitor, I think it's quite dandy. I think I do want to just try and uniformly give the screen one more sort of wipe. Just look for anything else. The tiniest of tiny. And we're good. All right. So I always agonize over the size of the box that I get, because with today's shipping things, you know, they go by size and they go by weight. And generally speaking, whatever they can get the most out of you for shipping a box, that is what you want to do. Just reaching over here. I have downstairs. Ooh, I could use a little. I have downstairs an original box. Wrong way. So the monitor itself is just short of 13 inches tall. Just short of 14 inches. Maybe with the thing off the back, 15. So I do agonize over the size of the box because I want the thing, in this case this monitor, to get there safely. But, you know, I don't need to get a monster. One time I was going to ship a pet, and I described the size, and this guy at this specialized store appeared with this absolutely mammoth box, which of course I never used. I foolishly bought, but never used because it was just way too big. I think his idea was if he could convince me to use this box, which I'm sure the pet would have been safe in, but if he could convince me to do it, then they would be able to charge me some magnificent amount for shipping. Anyway, so I went to Home Depot and I got a box there that worked just fine. Ew. So I guess the biggest part of all of this monitor is the back. So kind of 13 by 14 by 15. Ew. Ew. So I'm going to measure the original box. I think it has an 1802 in it, and just see what its dimensions are. But I know at Home Depot I will be limited by what they have. And that's just what they have. They don't make special sizes. Whereas there's a box place I know, but unfortunately it's not very close. And you can have them make something to order, which maybe, because I will be selling, and I have lots of monitors, I will be selling more of these. It may be that I do go to them for more specific sizing. Of course, the ultimate thing is the monitor's got to get there and it's got to be working. And the case has got to be beautiful, no damage. But on the other side of it, you want to make sure that it's big enough but not too big, so that the shipping costs are as fair as they can be and not based on a whole lot of extra space that you really don't need. So, I think I said, yeah, not quite 14, not quite 13, and you don't do that. And, oh, there could be, it's hard to tell. less than what I thought. It's hard to tell with this. Oh yeah, about 14 and a half. So I'm thinking that maybe 18 by 18 by 18 would do. Because then I've got lots of bubble wrap and other packing materials to put in. Anyway, I'm going to go measure the original box, and then I will see what I see and decide what I decide. So, thanks for coming and watching this Magic Eraser moment. They do, by the way, I'm pretty sure the Magic Eraser people sell their Magic Erasers to other people, and they may have different names and such. Anyway, they really, like, if this was filthy, I will find something filthy to do. I think I've done other filthy things. And you can see just how great it is. And in this era of vintage things and stuff, it really can increase the value tremendously of your dirty old monitor if you can make it look not so dirty. Alright, that's it for today. That's it for now. We are on the air, and now we are off the air. So, thank you very much for coming. Keep your stick on the ice. Bye for now.